Hi guys, welcome to another episode. This is either going to consist of lots of short little bits or it's going to be just a short video by itself. I haven't quite decided yet. It depends how often I can get to edit them. So it might just be a load of clips put together, or it might be its own individual video. So anyway, getting into it. My aim is to get the engine running tomorrow night. So tonight I'm going to get the exhaust manifold on, get the inlet manifold on, try and get the carb on. It's not, the carb is just a carb I had laying around. It's by no means meant for this engine. It's way too big, but it should allow me to get it running and yeah, just see if it runs. So that's my aim for tonight. Don't know if I'll get there, but we'll try. Well, that's the exhaust system on. Obviously none of it is final fit. Nothing on this engine at the moment is final fit. It's all purely to get it running on the floor. So don't comment on anything being missing or not doing anything properly. I know it's not how it's going to be finally, so don't worry. So I guess on with the carb. I'm going to make just a quick cardboard gasket for it. As I say, this is just a carb I had laying around. It's I thought I had an HS4, but obviously turns out I haven't. So this is the most complete carb that I've got laying around that I hope is going to work. Might not, but it should at least get me somewhere. So we'll see. So just a quick how-to on how to make custom gaskets. If you've never done it before, I'm going to do it on this carb just because I haven't got one for this carb. There's no point buying one for this carb because this isn't the carb that's going on the engine. I just want to make it airtight for running it briefly in the garage. So there's no point buying one. All SU carbs you can buy all of the gaskets for. They're readily available, they're not particularly expensive, but if there's something else on an engine, I mean mini engines you can basically buy everything for them, but if there's something else you need to make a gasket for, normally you wouldn't use cardboard, you'd use proper gasket paper, but I'm just doing this because this is what I've got around. My proper gasket paper is upstairs, and if I'm being honest I can't be bothered to walk upstairs to get it. If I was being really anal about it, I'd go and laser cut one, but as this is going on this engine for probably 5 minutes of running and then never going on it again, I'm not going to go to the effort of that. So I'm just going to quickly knock one up with a ball peen hammer, just in case no one's ever seen it before. I'd imagine most of you know how to do it, but this is how you do it. So first thing is to get it on. This hammer's way too big for this, but it's all I've got. So you then just really lightly knocking around the edge until you've got a pattern. You don't want to hit too hard, certainly on a aluminium casting. You can quite easily dent them. You want to be very careful of where you're doing it as well, making sure not to hit the main faces, because again, being alley, you could very easily damage it. So then, as you can see, that's cutting out. So once you've done a little bit, what I tend to do is hook it over. That's a very good way of stopping it walking around, and then from there you can sort of pull it tight and carry on going around. If you've got a particularly complex shape, sometimes it's easier to do the outer edge with a if you haven't got a smaller hammer, you can just cut it out with some scissors. If you go along with your finger, a dirty finger, you can normally mark it. I mean, this card's probably a bit thick. Most gasket papers you'd easily be able to mark it, and then you've got yourself a line there. But for this purpose, doesn't need to be neat, doesn't need to be tidy. I'm just going to quickly knock out the gasket. There you go, and you can take the outer off. You've got the main profile. So next, obviously, you need your bolt holes and your main bore. So I'd normally go for your bolt holes first. This hammer might be a bit big for this. I don't know if this hammer's going to do these bolt holes, but give it a try. So you want to feel roughly where they are, and then lightly keep tapping. So I think this hammer's a bit on the big side for this. Another option for this, if you haven't got the right size hammers, you can use some wad punches. They're very well. It's one of their main purposes is for this sort of stuff. So once I don't think this hammer's going to go through this whole lot because the ball's too big on it, but at least give me an indent that I can then definitely sounded like that was well under the 50-mile-an-hour limit. That. So this is extremely rough. But it's also considerably easier if you do it on a bench and not on your knee. Be able to voila, then we have bolt holes, and then we're just doing the same. Sometimes once you've got the bolt holes, it can be easy to put a couple of bolts in just to hold it in place, because it can tend to wander a little bit, certainly when you're doing big holes. So when you're doing the big holes, you want to sort of, again, this hammer's a bit big for this really, but sort of, you want to try not to push too much in the middle because it will crease it up. It has started to crease up slightly, and then once you get most of the way around, it will free up quite nicely. So there we have it. Pull out your centre. There we have a really, really crude gasket. It's probably not going to work, but as long as it means I can get it idling, I'm not too worried. Doesn't matter. I'm not after perfect idle that's going to sit there at 800 RPM, whatever. Just want to get it running. So now it's time to fit the carb. So because I'm using the wrong carb and the wrong studs and everything, I've got to put the washers and nuts on as this goes on because the studs are a bit long. So this makes the whole thing a little bit trickier, but I do tend to find that with carbs, they're always a little bit fiddly to get on. It's normally quite a good idea to at least trial fit the carb if you have got your engine out and you start from scratch, putting something different on, just so you get a bit of an idea of how it goes on, because a lot of time, certainly when they're in mini, you've got extremely limited room. 9 times out of 10 you can't see what you're doing. So it's handy if you can feel what you're doing. Nice. This is a small part of the build, the overall build, that I actually can be fairly confident in knowing what I'm talking about, because this is my day job. I build classic racing engines, so although the 998 mini engine is not in the slightest bit racy, I do have a fair idea of how to put an engine together. So let's hope I don't mess up. Right. I have to try and find a 4th bolt for that top one, but for now it's going to be fine. Cool. See if we've got a float bar in it, float in here somewhere. Right. Well, it all looks alright. I'll leave that loose because I'll fill that with fuel tomorrow, get it going. I think that's probably about all I can do for tonight. So I will have to leave it there, I think. So yeah, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow with it running. That'd be nice. Thank you.